Hello, everyone. Welcome to our latest and greatest edition of Better Together, Arizona. I'm Angela Hughey, the co-founder and president of One Community, and very happy to have Tom Collins with the Clean Elections folks with me today to talk about Proposition 313. How are you, Tom?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
At Local First Arizona, we know the power of coming together to make a difference. Whether you're a small business owner or a loyal customer, your voice counts. Visit Your Vote is Your Voice today to register to vote and to learn more about the upcoming elections.
We're going to dive into Proposition 313, and the overview on this is life imprisonment for child sex trafficking.
That's right. And really, in this case, sometimes in these initiatives, the title can be a little confusing, whatever. This one is not really confusing. What it does is currently, under Arizona law, the penalties for child sex trafficking, which involves a range of criminal activity, including, putting a minor into prostitution, the financing of that, transportation, all those kinds of things. Right now, under Arizona's Dangerous Crimes Against Children sentencing scheme, you get sentenced to a quite severe penalty based on the age and other
and
factors.
And the severity of the crime that's been committed.
Right. Yes. And a lot of those sentences are, in fact, already involve limitations on your releasability and those kind of things. What this says in the legislature in passing this to the ballot found is that child sex trafficking is a growing problem that they see as a human rights abuse, and that especially people who are supportive of this say that in Arizona, where we have unaccompanied minors at the border, this is a serious problem that needs a more serious public safety address to it. And so instead of the current scheme, this would create a natural life sentence mandatory.
Mandatory. So right now, under the current sentencing guidelines, if you have committed the crime of child sex trafficking, you are getting a sentence of between 7 years and life imprisonment.
Yeah.
And if this passes, so a yes vote on Prop 313 is automatic life sentence.
Yes. Now, and there are in the publicity pamphlet that everyone's receiving from the Secretary of State, there are a couple of anti-arguments, and those anti-arguments really focus on the idea that mandatory sentences are not effective policy because folks who are going to go out and commit these kind of crimes aren't going to be thinking about the sentences. And to the extent that the current law allows any discretion, which it really doesn't allow a lot of discretion in the first place in terms of what a person under the current sentencing regime gets, whatever they fall in the range, that's really the time they're going to get. But nevertheless, the folks who are against this say, look, this is meaning that prosecutors will have, when they're doing plea negotiations, too much leverage in effect over defendants. As we said, the pro argument, including the legislators who put this on the ballot, say, look, their view, enough is enough. We have a problem they've identified, and they think it requires a severe sentence and to be dealt with severely.
Do we know, is sex trafficking rising in the state of Arizona?
Well, that's a good question. In the publicity pamphlet, proponents of the act say that it is, and also that it is a problem in Arizona. So they see it as a national problem and an Arizona problem. So that's the argument.
Got it. So a no vote would keep current sentencing guidelines in place, which is anywhere from 7 years to life imprisonment. A yes vote on Prop 313 is an automatic life sentence with no possibility for parole.
Correct.
Got it. Thank you, Tom, for joining me and for letting us all know about what's going on with Proposition 313, which is known as the Life Imprisonment for Child Sex Trafficking ballot initiative. I want to remind everybody that this year's ballot is 4 pages long. We encourage you to discuss what's on the ballot with your family and friends, do your research, and we're really asking people and encouraging folks to start at the bottom of the ballot and work their way up. To learn more about ballot measures and who's on the ballot this year, visit yourvoteisyourvoice.com. Thank you so much.
My name is Gabe Hagan. I am the co-founder of Brick Road Coffee here in Tempe. I believe it's important to vote because our rights are on the line. Visit yourvoteisyourvoice.com to register to vote and learn more about the upcoming election.